Life is weird.
Super weird.
So, what did we decide to do with our fascination for the strange and unusual?
We made a podcast about it. This is Weirdify. Now,
let's get weird. Welcome to Weirdify.
Weirdify.
That's Hayley. Wow.
guys, my balls finally dropped. Congratulations to me. Yeah, no, I just left you hanging. I was mid-sip when you were like,
it's okay. You can leave me hanging. You can probably go leave me hanging in the future.
Probably.
And like you just did.
Probably.
I just need to check one setting just to clear my mind. All I did was X out of the recording. We changed nothing.
Do what you
but
do.
I just have to make sure it's recording out of the headphone or out of that.
This.
Yeti
Jesus.
stereo, Yeti's okay. Okay, I'm just making sure. That was the problem.
Hayley's pooping.
Hayley!
This is my nervous face. Usually I do this.
That was creepy.
That's my buffering face.
Is there a spinning wheel on your nose?
Might as well be.
Okay.
This is my second. Did you see that I finished one in about 5 seconds? Are you
This
so
is my
proud of me?
fourth. This is not my
Like
fourth.
11th.
This is my second. Yeah.
This is my fourth.
They fit my first one in 3 different cans.
Yeah.
Welcome, weird folks, weird family,
Weird
weird
fuckers.
friends, weird fuckers. I got a text from Alex's bestie. I'm not sure if they want their name shared. So Alex's bestie said Weirdiphiles.
Ooh.
Oh, like PHILES
Yeah.
instead of
That's correct. That's
Weird
correct. That's
Weirdiphiles.
I like it.
Weirdiphiles.
That's a good one.
I like it. I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Oh, me too.
Oh.
I was like,
it a
ooh.
lot.
And they texted me right before this, so had to share it.
I will say I think it's significantly cooler not having the entire Weirdifort up.
Uh-huh.
Cooler as in temperature minus 50 degrees from last time.
Right. So
Yeah.
when Unicorn Dad, because that's who's speaking,
How you doing?
says last time, this is recording number 2.
Yep.
The first one that
Second
we
take.
have re-recorded.
Yeah.
And that is for your...
Sorry, I'm hungry.
And now we leave the car motor in. We have re-recorded for your listening pleasure. We had some technical difficulties last time, and we decided we did not want to go live with that.
Yeah. We can usually make things work, but that we just couldn't make work. But it gives us another excuse to hang out with Jaime.
Lucky me.
That's
lucky
right.
Me.
So
We're
Unicorn
the
Dad,
luckiest.
Lucky me.
Unicorn Dad is here.
How you doing?
Hi, we're so good.
Oh, you're so good.
We're like,
good.
no, seriously, we are like so good.
We
You're
are.
So, I love
Amanda's-
the convertible Weirdifort.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
adjustable.
It's true. It's true. Yes, we changed the situation to what we had when Kelsey was in here,
Yep.
which seemed to work totally great.
Yep.
So we're just replicating
Figured out
that.
what the issue was the first time around. And we've since tested. Amanda's since figured it out because she's brilliant.
I'm like, seriously, guys, I'm so smart. You don't even know.
The smartest.
The seed of this man right here. He's a freaking genius. I'm a freaking genius. You don't even know.
You flipped the lever.
Wrong lever.
Why do we even have that lever?
Unicorn Dad comes in clutch with the Disney references. If you don't get it,
Hells
too
yeah,
bad.
Too bad. Watch a movie once in a while.
That's
people.
right.
Put the
That's
frickin'
right.
books down.
Get off TikTok for once. Watch a movie. Just kidding. I'm on TikTok while I'm watching movies. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, that beer is good. Tell me all about it, Dad.
Ain't that good? Man, we are drinking abnormal hazy dreams.
We are.
Which I thought was perfect for Weirdify.
And why do you think it was perfect for Weirdify?
Because it's abnormal and they're hazy dreams.
No.
I mean, just to put it in a nutshell.
I love that he's talking about hazy dreams after our last epi and my very clear dreams. They weren't hazy at all.
Oh,
but you know
my
what?
God, right?
Here
Amanda
we
wishes
are.
they were hazy.
That's right. So I have an email that I would like to read to the whole entire class here.
Bring it.
So should I say it's like our first person that we don't know? Because I think that's really exciting.
Sure.
Okay.
Totally.
So the
Why
first
not? We're
person,
transparent.
the first person that we don't know that emailed us,
Nice.
subject, your dad for a new follower.
Thank your dad.
That's right. I was going to say we're going to trade you in for a new follower.
Damn it! I've only been here like 10 seconds. I'm already fired.
Great job, Haley. So
You're welcome.
thank
I
your
got you.
dad for a new follower. Okay, so it says, message, hey there. Not really a story, but I met your dad today. Great guy. He came into the Bevmo I work at and he told me he had a, quote, strange request. I was nervous at first of what this entailed, but was soon relieved when he explained what he was looking for. Some, quote, weird beer, end quote.
Yeah.
Anyway, I helped him find some beer for your podcast tonight, and we actually started talking about our mutual interest of the My Favorite Murder podcast. That's when he took out his phone to show me your guys, and I made sure to give it a listen on my drive home from work. Looking forward to hearing the episode from this evening when you post it. Wishing you all the best. Say hi to your dad, Adriana.
Oh my god, that's so great.
Dad, Unicorn Dad knows no strangers.
Nope.
There is no strangers in,
that's so cool.
We were talking about quiet clapping.
much. Great.
Round of applause.
So we love that.
Yep.
She wrote in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad, for just repping us everywhere you go.
Heck
Yep.
yeah. Thank you, Adriana, for like checking in.
Yeah, I know, for like
weird
giving us
with
a
it.
listen. So I told her when it would be going live. This was after we knew for sure when the episode was going to be going live.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you for just
Heck yeah.
promoting
Thanks for
Weirdify.
giving us a new listener. And welcome, Adriana.
Welcome, Adriana.
Thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thank you so
So
much.
exciting.
And
Like,
again, we are enjoying the beer that you recommended,
Absolutely.
which is Abnormal.
So the first recording, we drank Abnormal, and Haley doesn't drink beer. She just doesn't really enjoy it as much. She did try some,
I live vicariously.
she's a team player. So when Unicorn Dad I just can't call you Dad. You must be Unicorn Dad.
It's official.
so
Professor Unicorn.
yes, he's
Exactly.
got a promotion. So he's Professor Unicorn Dad. The unicorn now has glasses.
And a monocle?
A monocle.
Absolutely a monocle.
A monocle, yeah.
Us cartoon.
So prestigious.
Go.
So when my father left last time, he left 2 Abnormal beers, which when Haley listened, because Haley's, just on that quality control, immediately she goes, hey, something's not right with this audio. And I'm like, yo, I'm leaving these 2 Abnormal beers in here. Because if we need to re-record this, we're going to have the Abnormal beer. And I left it, and I left it, and I left it. And then here we are re-recording. And Unicorn Dad, what does he do? He shows up with a different type of Abnormal beer. So,
Hell
Adriana,
yeah.
props to you twice.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, thank you. We're drinking Hazy IPA this evening.
Indeed, we are.
Hazy Dreams?
It is
Hazy Dreams.
fantastic.
It's so-
oh my god, it's so
2
good.
for 2 on the
Yeah.
I
Abnormal.
don't trust your guys'
Yeah.
judgment.
Yeah, I'm not usually a huge IPA guy. I'm a amber, red, darker beers kind of guy. But
Yeah.
man, this
Mud?
is fantastic, especially on a hot day, which it is.
100%.
my
100%. Yep. So, here we are drinking beer and trying to re-record science. So,
Got this.
okay, we can take this out, but I thought I'd make it kind of funny. But if it's not funny, that's okay.
It's gonna be funny.
So I was gonna say, like,
It's gonna be big.
unicorn, like you wouldn't remember, or like you might not remember all the details because you have a brain injury, and maybe we
Remember
could
what I
talk
ate
about.
for lunch?
Maybe we could talk about like I don't know, but I didn't want to just be like my dad has legitimate head injury damage.
Your dad legit has a sunroof in his skull.
I
That's
shouldn't laugh. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
Sort of healed a little, but not.
It's squishy still.
I
He's
thank
squeezy.
God that I don't have a receding hairline like my dad, and I'm sure he doesn't listen, so he won't mind me saying. But
100%. Doesn't matter if he does.
oh my God, if I ever lose my hair, people are gonna look at my head and go, "Oh,
What happened?
oh my God, how are you alive?"
Sir, are you okay?
Sir, should we call somebody?
Dude, quickly. Yeah, I told Lauren, my wife. I told Lauren, I said, yeah, if I ever lose all my hair, I'm getting a topo map tattooed on my head because that's the only thing that'll make that make sense.
And would be so appropriate. Oh my God.
Wouldn't it? I'm almost like, well, I'd like to go bald now because I'm ready for my tattoo.
Oh my God. I mean, he legit teaches land navigation.
That
The
would be
topo map
amazing.
is so appropriate. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so all of that stays in then.
100%.
Great.
We love you even with your dented head.
We love you always,
I
Dottie.
love y'all back.
Oh my God, that's great.
Okay, so I'm gonna shift gears.
Yes. Okay,
Do
so
it.
are you going to talk about what you were so excited and then you were like, I'm going to save this for the pancake?
Yes.
And can't wait to do it.
So this past weekend, my mom and my twin sister Kelsey, you guys know her,
Hey,
and
Kels.
Hi,
I
Kelsey.
went to San Francisco on a little weekend trip.
And
and
hi,
it was
Deborah.
It was the first time we had traveled together as the three of us since 2015.
Wow.
And so it was a very short little weekend jaunt. We left super late Friday, came back super late Sunday. But we had 2 stops. My sister picked one and I picked one. My sister's was Muir Woods
Ooh.
Gym. I will show you photos. It was magical. Like, I have one photo that I took that's my favorite, and I'm going to get it printed out big. And my sister's going to paint little fairies on it because it looks like something just out of a fairy tale. Oh my God. It is
Perfect.
so freaking cool. And the redwoods are enormous. And so, it's right up your alley. 100%.
Love it.
And then the second stop that I picked was the Walt Disney Family Museum. Because obviously.
Because duh. And I love that I'm trailing you by just a couple weeks.
I know. Oh my gosh, you're going to die.
Okay, so wait, where was this? Because I'm wondering if I've been to the same one.
You have. It's the San Francisco one at the Presidio. There's like all these red buildings.
Yeah.
I think there's one Walt Disney Family Museum.
Oh, so amazing.
And I laughed, I cried, I smiled the entire time.
Yep.
And I know people hate on Walt Disney, but I have a newfound appreciation for Walt and just his craft and his passion and just what he did for the animated film industry. And just, it lit a fire inside of me that was just this new love for this person that I already knew I had like this little intrigue about. So, because I went to the
Little intrigue? Okay, that's cute.
Anyway...
Little intrigue as
Because
in
I was
life
at
obsession.
the Walt Disney Family Museum, I had to get Amanda something.
Oh my god, she's giving it to me right now.
And I'm gonna go get it along with my phone with my notes for this episode. Okay.
Oh my god.
Hold please.
I'm not
Come
crying.
up with some sort of
You're
like
crying.
hold music. I'll be right back.
Okay, do you boo 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 you boo you boo you boo.
I'm at that age where my favorite music all has become elevator music now.
Oh my god, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I like instrumental jazz. That's my go-to on Spotify. Although recently, is that what yours is?
No.
Oh, okay. Am I older than you in spirit?
Yeah. A little bit.
Although recently I will say I have been deeply enjoying lo-fi Disney. So lo-fi is just like, usually there's 1 or 2 words. It's usually instrumental. It's just kind of a beat that you can just kind of like...
It's at a very level tone. It's a very like it's not super high pitch. It's not super low pitch.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's there, but it's like at this really pleasing to the ear kind of level of tones throughout the entirety of each track.
And I've now
it's
discovered lo-fi
Yeah.
Disney. And that one that I sent you on YouTube was one that was the first thing that came up
Yeah.
in my lo-fi Disney repertoire. And
Yeah.
now I have listened to so many lo-fi Disney mixes, but I've been waiting because I'm like, I'm going to send Hayley the best one. Some of these aren't the best. I'm listening to them all.
Yeah. And you'll appreciate this, Jim. So this isn't really lo-fi, but I did send Amanda a link to a podcast. It's technically considered a podcast, but it's called The Sounds of Disney. It's on Spotify. You can probably get it other places if you don't listen to Spotify.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not that damn old.
It's called The Sounds of Disney, and it's meant to be listened to with headphones because it's this guy, and he will walk around Disneyland and California Adventure with microphones, and so you're getting a 360-degree experience of all of the sounds, just everything that you would normally hear walking through Disneyland, and it's just so good to like just play as like background music. It's so cool. If you can appreciate like just the little bits and pieces, but it's truly
Which you would.
It's truly immersive.
Nice.
especially listening to it with headphones.
It's like he's literally walking through the park recording everything. So you're hearing the people there.
Yeah.
You're hearing like
the background music.
Yeah, it's
the
all
cast
of it.
members
Cool.
talking. It's just, and then he'll do these things where he's like, you have to figure out where I'm walking or what my route is. And so he'll walk through and then he's like, you have to figure out where I'm going. Did I go through Tomorrowland first and then filter into Main Street and then filter through to Frontierland? And it's just, it's so cool.
And
it is so cool.
I love Hayley. And I mean, because I've been to Disneyland with you, I don't even know how many times.
Even without me, a lot of times.
But
you as well.
You too. Yep. You too, for sure. We've been we don't know how many. We don't need to know how many.
We don't keep count.
We've been so many.
There's a comma in the number.
I would say when Hayley and I listen, and anybody who's very familiar with the sounds of these different, that was Unicorn Dad sipping beer.
I didn't even hear it. I wouldn't even know.
And that was Unicorn Dad trying not to laugh beer out of his nose.
No Asner.
There's no Asner in the Weirdifort today, thank goodness.
Okay.
But if you are I don't want to say like well versed, but we've just been so many times, like we know exactly where he's at, and it's very
it's not just us. There's more people.
So
There's
nice.
100% more people.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. But anyway, so I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast, but Amanda connects. Oh my God, words. Amanda collects enamel pins.
Mm-hmm.
And so the selection was not super large.
Okay.
I wanted to go in and see what spoke to me.
Okay.
But a lot of them were like the ones you could get at like the park.
Okay.
So they had 2 pins. Maybe you'll get the other one as like a matching set. But it was between one that had Mickey on it and one that had Walt on it. And I got you the one with Walt because, like I said, this experience and going through this museum gave me a newfound respect and love for Walt Disney.
Oh my God.
And so it's super basic. Here you go.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
And they have literally the exact same thing, but it's red, and then where Walt is, it's just Mickey, like old school Mickey. But I was like, I need to get her the Walt one because you're going to have this incredible experience and like truly a newfound love and like respect for Walt Disney and everything that he's done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love
All right, so I got to ask you, when you went through the museum, at the end...
I sobbed.
Yeah.
I sobbed. And it was cool because on the screens, he had all the pictures of his old school, like, live action movies that he did. So, like, The Parent Trap and Swiss Family Robinson, all these different ones. And so, are you just going to wear it? Oh. And the backing is like a Mickey one, just like the ones at the park.
Weird-A-Flare.
Weird-A-Flare.
Weird-A-Flare into
Stop.
Weirdifort.
Yeah. And so my sister took a picture of me and it says like the wonderful Hayley Mills or like the wonderful Hayley. And then like it's just me underneath the photo because I'm named after Hayley Mills, who was the chick from the original Parent Trap and Pollyanna.
Wow, how many years have I known you and I didn't know this?
I don't know. I feel like we talked about it on the podcast. But that's
Well,
a
we
fun
probably
fact.
did like earlier today, but
remember,
and I probably said the
my
same
dad
thing.
wants to get a topo map tattooed in his head. He doesn't remember.
Pretty
So
much.
anyway, yeah, it was Amanda's going in a few weeks and you're going to have an incredible time. And
Did you?
this
get
is
any
going to
pins?
mean so much. I got a pack of 100 like vintage Disney movie postcards of all the movies that Walt Disney like worked on. I plan on framing those and then putting them in an eventual baby nursery.
I was gonna say we could write to each other.
Oh.
We text every day. Maybe that might be a little bit much, but
Yeah, that's okay. It's fine. I'm going to save them for art.
okay.
And then I did also get myself a patch. So I have one and it's like a silhouette of Mickey against a tan background and it's just him sitting at like a drawing desk. And it says the Ink and Paint Company, Walt Disney Family Museum.
Oh, okay.
I'll spoil nothing else.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was your little gift.
No. I just want to know what you got. So if I went,
That
and
was
I
what I
wanted
got.
to buy you something, I wanted to buy
Oh,
you something.
I got the little circle Mickey patch that says Ink and Paint Department,
All right.
Walt Disney, and then I got the little thing of postcards.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah,
Cool,
you can get
cool.
the little red Mickey one to match the one I got you.
That's
So
what
when
I was
you-
already thinking.
When are you going?
Very soon, middle of August.
I'm just going to recommend one thing. Bring Kleenex.
Yeah,
Aw.
bring Kleenex.
That
Dude.
was so cute.
No, my
God.
sister and my mom walked into this particular section that your dad is referring to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "What are you doing, Kelsey?" And she was like, "I need to get your freaking like reaction." And so I walked in, I like dropped to the ground, not like in like the fetal position, but I like crouched down and I was like, "Oh my God." And then just the waterworks started and then it just progressively grew. And then of course it's the entirety of Walt's life. So then of course where there's a beginning, there's an end. And that's all I'll say. bring tissues. Take your dad's advice. Okay. You're going to sob.
All right.
If you're going to San Francisco, everybody, go to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
100%.
Okay.
It's so cool.
I'm going to San Francisco.
And I can't believe you haven't been to Muir Woods.
Muir Woods. Okay, so I've been to the Redwoods.
So it's the one where you go on to basically Sausalito. So you go across the Golden Gate Bridge. You park. There's a shuttle.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Those are the baby redwoods.
Oh, yeah. They weren't as big as I expected them to be, but they were enormous.
Yeah, but wait till you go to the big redwoods.
Like the big boy redwoods.
Alex has booked all of our camping trips, and he's booked one of our sites in the redwoods.
Yes.
I know.
Get to the General Sherman. Do it.
Well,
wait. That's a Sequoia.
I think I went there with you, right? Like when I was
actually.
Little?
Yep.
Many
eons ago.
Wow! Back when the world wasn't new for me.
The planet Earth was down on its luck, but less down on its luck than it is now because we fuck up the world.
Really
I've been alive for 28 years, and I was probably like 8, so it's another 20 years of unsustainability happening.
Wow. But the redwoods hadn't died yet, or all been turned into decks. And
this is the one that I want to print and have my sister paint on. I want her to paint like a bunch of like little fairies.
Oh man, that's awesome!
Isn't that super cool?
So party. Good radio.
Good radio. Do you know about the pano setting on a? Do you have an iPhone? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a pano setting. Mm-hmm. So basically, you take a picture and then you just pan up. Better. And it elongates the entire picture.
I never thought of going vertical with it.
I totally have, and it totally works.
So you use it this way, but you do the same thing. And so we did. So
I have to go right
I've
now
only
and
done
find
it.
big tall trees right now.
I've only done it a couple times, but 100% yes.
Like, let me see if I can find a really good one.
Wait,
so
what if you went diagonally?
I don't know.
Wow.
You could probably figure it out if anybody. Like, this is a picture I took of my sister, but it was just her, and it would have just been like the tree stump normally, but I got the rest of the trees, you know?
What? That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me like grab it from you.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, Kels.
That's awesome.
And so I did one of my...
What a little cutie.
She's
a
a
little cutie.
And then this is one... So this is one of me in the same tree. I just didn't get like the canopy bit. But look at... Okay, tell me that my mom's not the cutest. I just want to put fairy wings on her.
Aw.
Is that not the cutest photo ever?
What's up, Mom?
Yeah, like I just... Isn't that cool? Highly recommend turning your pano on and doing it vertically.
That's rad. I never even thought of that.
I
That's
did
so
it...
Cool.
You're a genius, Hayley.
I try.
I have, remember in the last episode that nobody's going to hear, but we talked about our coochie being asleep?
Uh-oh.
That's happening. I'm in a very weird position right now because it's sleeping.
Sleepy Coochies are my new band.
Go to sleep. Oh my gosh, speaking of sleeping. Yes. So my mom texted me and she was having a birthday party for her friend at her place last night. She texted me and she was like, Hayley, what's the name of the snake from Jungle Book? And I was like, Ka. And she's like, oh my gosh, I knew you would know. Thank you so much. And then she texted me again. She's like, and what was the name of the monkey that wanted to know the secret of fire? And I was like, King Louie, voiced by Louis Prima. And she was like, my friends think you're amazing. I just wanted to let you know. And I was like, girl, I got you if you need any other like references or like names of characters.
Hayley is amazing.
But what brand of banana did he eat?
It was
it
definitely...
Dole or was it Chiquita?
It was probably Chiquita.
It was probably Chiquita. I would agree with Haylita.
Chiquita banana.
Science, you know.
And funny Chiquito Rosita Chihuahua, I think. Was that racist? Oh, I didn't mean it to be. I was just
Dad just said the topic, which is fine, but do you just want to say it then?
Oh,
you're totally good. 100% you're good.
The topic is science.
I was gonna say the shock factor on your face. You don't be shy. You don't get.
Don't be
you
shy.
had to tell him at some point. You know.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
She blinded me with science.
That's what she did.
If I have a third one, I'm probably gonna be pretty schwasty.
Schwasty? Is it gone?
This one's good.
We've taken a bit of an intermission.
A bit.
And we are jumping back into Hayley's story. Sorry if this is not a clean
break.
Transition. All of
Segue.
those.
Segu.
Righto. Okay, let's get into Hayley's story.
Okay. I wish I had reread this, but I haven't.
That's okay.
So we're gonna see what happens.
That's okay.
All right. So for my weird science episode,
Oh, because we're doing weird science.
Yes, I think Jim touched on that.
Okay, yes, but I'm not sure if we like officially announced that we were doing weird what?
Science.
We blinded us with science.
Yes.
Science.
Okay.
Wow.
So
It feels weird to just jump back into a podcast after
we've
literally...
already done it.
I'm sorry, listeners. We have had a 2-hour segue.
We really... It was probably
things.
2 hours.
It honestly
At
probably
least.
was.
We had a 2-hour sponsor break where we made $500,000.
Yeah, here's hoping, if only. Yeah, and it's weird, though, because since this is a repeat episode and a repeat recording, this is all stuff that I talked about, but I probably will be like, wait, what?
Same. Perfect. Great. Love it.
All right.
So, Hayley, what is your weird science that you're bringing?
So the scientific world is vast and encompasses so many things, from marine biology to medicine to plants to space and so much more.
Oh, I love all the plants in space. Okay, continue.
It really did something for you, didn't it?
Yep, it did.
Okay.
So we'll give you a little snort, what is it?
Complimentary snort? Is that how you snort, Jim?
I don't have
Because
a
he doesn't.
uvula.
I was gonna say he doesn't have a uvula.
That should be the weird science episode. Jim talking about why he doesn't have a uvula. He's not a girl, Jim.
A
For everyone.
uvulectomy.
Not only is he missing part of his brain, he don't have uvula.
I just got a shit be falling off me. Oh, I think that's mine. Could you pick that up?
Excuse me. Okay,
Oh
sorry,
my gosh,
Hayley.
I
Please,
completely forgot you
please
didn't have a uvula.
begin, because you haven't even started
I
yet.
will say, now that I remember that Jim doesn't have a uvula, I remember you specifically...
Easy. Choose your next words carefully.
Oh my god.
Shoving.
People are like Googling uvula right now, like, isn't that? I remember sex ed.
Oh, he's
Of
a
course
girl
he doesn't have
house.
it. What the?
He's the girl house.
Unicorns have uvulas?
Unicorns'
horn.
dads don't.
Unicorn dads don't have
Nope.
uvulas.
Okay, well.
I remember you, I think this was at the condos, and you pulling me into the kitchen. Amanda was there. I'm sure Nate was there too. And you were like, I don't have a uvula. And I was like, wait, what? And you were like, yeah. And then you're like, watch. And then you shoved a spoon completely down your throat. No, nothing. Didn't phase him. Nothing.
Okay, Hayley. You had science to talk about.
Oh my god. Okay.
Just rename this the Segway, Eternal Segways.
We
podcast.
have
The Segway tour.
We are not responsible for where this episode goes.
Yeah, we're never responsible, but this one specifically.
This is true. There's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
All of my years.
2 hours was a long time.
A lot of your
years.
years.
People didn't hear a lot of stuff that was covered.
Look. How old were we sophomore year?
That
14,
was
15?
2007.
Sure.
So we were 15?
Okay. So that's about half of our life.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much almost exactly.
So you've known him about, I'm just saying, all of that to say, you've known him about half your life. I've certainly known him, and I mean.
Really?
Yep.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Totes.
Totes blessed.
All that to say, there's a lot of history here.
Yes, the 2 hours was just not even the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, please continue, Hayley.
All right, so that being said, this week's topic...
What's this week's topic?
Weird.
Science!
Science.
Okay, so that being said, this week's topic was a difficult one to hone in on. And though there was a multitude of channels that I could have taken, but I decided to go down the route of scientific experiments. So this week I will be covering one specific experiment that I found fascinating, but also fairly sad and controversial. Listener discretion is advised.
That's right.
Yeah. I showed you guys the video after this
It's all
last time.
coming back. It's all coming back to me now. Wow, this is the worst.
So good and they were flashes of light.
That's right.
This is what gets usually edited out.
And I was worried about swallowing in the first one.
You were
God.
literally like,
So you can break dance right now and
This
not
is
mess
true.
with me up.
This is true. The warbly swallows you'll never have to experience.
You won't.
Weird folk, weirdophile.
Maybe in a blooper.
Weird family.
What did we say?
Weird-a-files. Weird-a-files is what Alex's bestie Westie recommended.
Weird-a-phallics.
Wow.
Jim came up with weird-a-phallics.
No, you came up with weird-a-phallics.
I didn't.
Weird-a-family. Weird-a-family.
I said weird-a-family. Jim, in a comment on Instagram, which you wouldn't have seen, said weird-a-phallics.
Did I? Oh, that's because you have an obsession with the baby penises.
It's this one.
So
Hello.
And he's so good. Hello.
So it's both
Hello.
of you as she whips out ding ding as
For
if it's
all of
nothing.
you who can't see us, Hayley is waving her penis in my face.
Which is everybody. It's ding ding. Wow.
The sound of one
It's
ding
the only
ding
penis
clapping.
I have to wave in your face, Jim, okay?
I know. Well, it's not bad. He's cute.
Thanks. Anyway, that took a turn.
That took a
It's all
turn.
turns. This is just Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
We're just donutting at this point. Let's be real. All right.
All right.
Now, most of us have probably heard of a heart-lung machine at some point in our lives through school, conversation, or books. This machine is a machine that works both the heart and lungs so that blood can be oxygenated and pumped throughout the body during open heart surgery. The heart-lung machine was developed by John Hashem Gibbon. Gibbon came up with the idea after he had watched a patient die from pulmonary embolectomy or a blockage in the pulmonary valve of the heart. Gibbon was originally able to keep cats alive while on his experimental devices, and on May 6, 1953, he became the first one to perform a successful open heart surgery using extracorporeal circulation, which is the non-pulsatile flow of blood via some sort of pump, i.e. the heart-lung machine. Now, it's important to realize that this idea of extracorporeal circulation has actually been around for quite a while. In 1813, French physician... So cute. In my notes, I put cue Frenchy French accent. César Julien Jean Lagalleroy.
Your mother was a hamster.
And your father smelled of elderberries. Do you remember?
Amazing.
Segues. Do you remember sitting in the Sombreros restaurant by your guys' old condos? Mm-hmm. And you were like, yes, domine. We ordered rolled tacos, and I was like, done. And you were like, that's correct. Do you remember this?
I don't, but I'm just so...
I don't either.
Do
but
you?
Only because we have quoted that mantra chant so many times.
No, you were like looking for people, and you were like, someone, anybody, and I was just like, whack. And you were like, that is correct. Anyway,
found a special place in my heart that day.
Since then. Okay. So.
And you know what's funny? I've been eating elderberries like crazy lately.
Have you?
Oh,
Do they grow wild here?
Absolutely. Yeah. I literally posted on Facebook the other day, like, my children's mother was not a hamster, but their father definitely smells
I was going to say, so your mother was a
elderberries.
hamster, and your dad for sure smelt of
Yeah.
elderberries.
Oh, for sure.
That's
Been
amazing.
Knocking on them like crazy.
Really
lately.
come full circle here.
Yummy stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so...
Fine. Yeah. Please, Hayley.
Oh, I said French. Okay, so César Julien Jean Lagalleroy suggested that the vitality of a part of the body could be preserved by the means of using an artificial circulation. In 1858, the French...
French?
the French physiologist... Wow, words. / neurologist Charles Edward Brown Segard used the limbs of guillotined prisoners to show that you could preserve nervous activity by quickly administering oxygenated blood to the limb. He would, I remember you were getting weird at this part. He would whip up what was referred to as quote unquote black blood to oxygenate it and then pass it through the arteries of the limb via a syringe. In the following years, advancements in the different oxygenator technologies were developed and continued to advance as a way of preserving organs and the body by means of perfusion, which is the passage of blood or a blood substitute through blood vessels and other channels in organ or tissue. Now, I know that was a lot of dates, names, and information, but I haven't even touched on the main science experiment yet. Science. So you're probably thinking, thanks for the science and history lesson, Hayley.
That's right.
Get to the point.
No. I'm thinking thanks.
I'm thinking thanks. And you're also thinking, get to the point.
No. But get to the point.
Well, the point of all of this information is this. What about a total body perfusion after the heart has been removed?
What the perfusion?
What the perfusion?
What I was trying to say was, what is a perfusion?
Oh,
But it came
what
out
the
as,
perfusion?
what the perfusion? But it was supposed to be like, what's a perfusion?
So a name that we may not often see, read, or hear about in English surgical literature is that of Sergei Sergeyevich Brukhonenko, whom I will refer to as Mr. B. Words are hard. Bear with me, but I'm going to give just a bit of backstory for Mr. B.
Okay.
He was born April 30th, 1890 in the Russian town of Kozlov. His father was a civil engineer, so inventing and building ran in the family. As a teenager, Alex will appreciate this, Mr. B made his first invention, which was a self-designed and self-constructed bike. Later in life, he moved to Moscow to study...
Did you just say Alex will appreciate that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what that doggy?
The doggy appreciates it too.
Mm-hmm.
Later in life, he moved to Moscow to study medicine and graduated from the University of Moscow in 1914. After graduation, he was assigned to the Army, and after serving in the Army and seeing so many cases of traumatic shock and injuries of the heart, lungs, and other major vessels, he began to think of ways that temporal, extracorporeal circulation could be used to support life while injuries are being repaired. He became an assistant professor and had pioneered the way through the world of blood transfusions with his study of the drug suramin, which he discovered was an anticoagulant and a crucial part of medical procedures today. Now, here is really where listener discretion is advised.
So tune out.
Tune out or skip ahead for however long you think it needs to be.
10 minutes.
Not that
5
much.
minutes.
10 minutes probably will suffice.
Okay. Okay.
Skip ahead 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So, similar to the way that the U.S. experimented on primates, the Soviets experimented on dogs. Now, going back to our initial history lesson, the idea of providing blood to individual organs to keep them in working order was not a new concept, but Mr. B knew that although those pieces were important, they didn't actually make up a life. So he developed a machine that he called the autojector, which he used to try and achieve the next step, which was to reanimate the head, brain, face, etc. by pumping the oxygenated blood through this autojector. This brings us to the weird part. He was able to successfully reanimate the head of a dog by providing the brain with oxygenated blood. The dog was able to respond to stimuli just like it would have in life if it had a body. It twitched its ears when the table was hit with a hammer. It squinted its eyes when they shined a light in it.
I was just going to say, this is the first episode that I know, like, at least in this very
what I'm going to talk
specific
about.
part, what I'm going to say. And I just want to say it would be, like, very alarmed because I'm alarmed again. But I'm not actively alarmed because I know what you're saying. But I'm like, oh my God, that's right. I just want to say this is what happens when you know what the other person's going to say.
This is why we never know what the other
This is why we
person's
come
gonna
with
do.
mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery.
So he developed a machine, I think I said this. It licked its mouth and nose when they applied citric acid to it.
No.
And Mr. B was successfully able to make the head function without the presence of a body or a heart.
It's so weird.
I know.
It's so weird.
Again, the experiment may be controversial. Shit biscuits.
Again.
Controversial Shit Biscuits is my new band.
Again, this experiment...
And so we leave it in.
Yeah. Again, the experiment may be controversial to some, but it led to crucial advancements in the field of body perfusion and how we perform open heart surgery today. All I know is that Oingo Boingo said it best, and this certainly is, ooh, weird science.
That's right.
And there's a link to that on YouTube, yeah? Or what's the title to it or
The
whatever?
video?
Yeah.
You can
Last
probably...
time we recorded.
My God.
I showed you the video.
Uh-huh.
You could probably just search...
Could we link it in our Instagram post or something? Or nah? Or
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll try to link it if I can.
amazing.
Yeah, I'll try
Yeah,
to link it if I
it's-
can. It's from pretty much the 40s when the experiment was done. So it's in black and white.
it doesn't change the effect though.
You could-
It's wacky.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
you could
for
probably
sure.
search like Soviet dog head experiment
Yeah,
or
that would
video
probably
or
do it.
something. Yeah, I think that's what I searched, or it just
Okay.
came up in my research. But yeah, I'll try to link it if we can.
Okay.
But again, viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah.
And it's not particularly gory.
It's not gruesome.
It's shot tastefully, but
Sure,
holy
yeah.
cow, it'll blow your
Absolutely.
mind.
Yeah,
it's
you remember
crazy.
that part? That's
Oh,
important.
yeah.
Because I showed you guys out on the porch, and you're like, wait, what?
Okay, so wait, Amy.
Do you want to switch?
Mo
No,
better.
I take
Are you sure?
Yeah, we've had so much time in between. My cooter isn't asleep, so
Okay.
should be fine.
Okay.
All right. So
Sleepy Cooters is my new band.
Sleepy Cooters.
so many new bands.
There's something, because I already had like a whole little Instagram edit ready for like our first recording.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God, what's going to beat Moist Bends? The Moist Bends.
I know, because
Maybe
we're not as
something.
moist because we have an air conditioning this time.
I know. Sleepy Cooters is probably going to be a contender for sure.
Since the first recording of Disastry and this recording, Alex and I have recorded an AC, so we're not as moist this recording
Yeah.
because of that.
You don't have to peel your sack off your leg.
The
A little
last,
sticky and damp in the special parts.
the last recording was very moist.
Swampy.
I'm currently not moist.
Nope.
And that's because we just took a minor break so we could all piss, and the AC was going during that. Okay, let's do this damn
Bladders are
thing.
empty. We're ready.
Yes, we're ready for the weird science of what Amanda brought. All right, so today I'm going to tell you about an incredibly influential man. Many beers. A man. We're going to tell
Flu,
you.
like the sickness.
Influenza man.
And she'll like nothing you've ever heard
Hayley's
before.
nose is inside of the Weirdifort deeply.
She's all up in it. Like a dog
like,
meeting you for the
influ-
first time.
And then
That's
Jim was
right.
trying to help you out, and you still said, an influenza man.
Because he said flu, so I was playing off of that. All right, so we're going to talk to you about a man who might have the flu, and he might not have the flu.
But does he have a uvula?
And probably.
We know a guy who doesn't have a uvula. Just ask the spoon.
Don't judge me.
The spoon?
Remember I told the story?
Hush your mouth.
That's a Disney reference.
Yes, it was.
Okay. This man that I'm going to talk about.
Wait, hold on. What Disney movie is that from? We can cut this out.
That's from the Aristocats, right?
It's a little old cricket bug.
Or is it from the
What
Fox
was the
and
line?
Hound?
Hush your mouth.
Aristocats,
I'm
right?
the leader.
I'll say when
I'll
it's...
say it was a little
Okay,
old
now it
cricket
makes
bug.
sense. Jim was the only person ever, I believe, thus far to stump me on a Disney line.
That would
I
be
saw
twice.
it in your face. I was proud there for a
That
second.
was me
I'm like,
twice.
"Ooh,
And it was...
No, not just this time. It was years
It was
ago.
an OB.
It was an OB.
That's right.
It was the Jungle Book. I forgot what the line
Uh-huh.
was.
I do remember
Oh, she
this.
did that on purpose.
She did that on purpose. I do remember that. Oh my God, that was a
Ocean
million
Beach.
years ago.
Haley was pissed.
I'll never
There we go.
forget that line ever again.
Well,
That
now
was
you
the
got a
first
new
time
one
it
to
took
never
me.
forget.
Was it the
Yeah.
Aristocats?
Yeah. Little cricket bug.
It's a little old
Okay.
cricket bug.
I'm the leader.
I'm the leader.
I'll decide when
All
it's
right.
the end.
So since I'll just start over. So I've only said one half of a sentence. So today, I'm going to be telling you about an influential man and how his technological advances in science affect us to this day. He made advances in aviation technology and automobiles. He put his body to limits few, if any, have done. He wanted this world to be a safer place and wanted to know just how far humans could push themselves. Through his research and data, we have much to thank him for, as the world we know today had a lot to do with how far he was willing to push himself.
Sorry, I just knew that I was going to get something else. And
No,
I was like,
I-
I need to put it on
She puts her phone on silent for the sake of Weirdify. You're welcome, Weirdify.
for the cause.
Weirdiphiles, whatever you are.
Weird fam.
We're
Weird
indecisive
fam bam.
yet. So Colonel was his last ranking. John,
Sanders.
what?
Sanders.
Colonel Sanders and Colonel John Staap, or better known as the fastest man on Earth, was born in 1910 in Brazil. At a very young age, he decided he was going to become a doctor after watching his very young cousin die of burn wounds from their fireplace. He was shocked that nothing could be done to save the child's life. And he said, quote, "It was the first time I had seen anyone die. I decided right then and there that I wanted to be a doctor as well." He was very intelligent, earning multiple degrees, such as a master's in zoology, a PhD in biophysics, and ultimately his MD. In 1944, he was awarded the Honorary Doctor of Science at Baylor University, which is where he got his master's. And I'm not going to name all of the awards that he got because he got a ton of them. He's very decorated, if you will. The same year, and during World War II, he decided to join the Air Force and was enrolled as a physician. Oh, this is the hardest one to read. Oh, God, my eyes. Fuck. He decided to join the Air Force and was enrolled as a physician and flight surgeon. And a flight surgeon, because I had never heard of it prior to researching this, is a physician that works specifically with military aviation personnel. In World War II, there were more planes that crashed than there are planes on Earth today.
Dude.
That's a statistic.
That's crazy.
More planes crashed than are on Earth today.
I know. I
Whoa.
last time I asked you to reread that sentence because it was so mind-blowing. Now you're clarifying for me. I don't have to ask.
Because nobody's asking and I'm like, no, it's a jarring sentence.
It is. No, it totally is.
So
yeah, it doesn't translate on the microphone, but our faces are
yeah, our jaws are on the floor.
Right. Dad's eyebrows are up.
dude.
Jaws are dropped. Right. And many pilots' deaths due to these crashes. So he basically committed his life to figuring out why this was happening or saving lives. So let's jump into some of his work. So in 1947, he began his work on unpressurized aircraft and some of the dangers that these pilots were facing. He wanted to know if humans could survive in high altitude and for any length of time. So if we could function completely. So think straight and keep full physical function, and how we could not get the bends. Not just the moist bends, the bends. Just the bends. He discovered answers to all these questions, but let's talk a little bit about the bends, which is also a term used by scuba divers and is when bubbles of nitrogen form into your tissue and blood. This happens from either ascending too quickly when scuba diving or from sudden cabin pressure change when flying. The bends. The bends can cause strokes and heart attacks and can even be fatal. Staap was assigned to test many oxygen systems in aircrafts that were unpressurized and at altitudes of around 40,000 feet.
I just had a thought. Remind me, I have a thought.
No,
after this.
I'll remind you right now.
I'm going to have to. No, tell me after. Remind me.
I can't promise I'm going to remember.
I'm pretty sure I saw a UFO.
No!
It was very similar to yours. I don't remember where I was. I don't remember. I don't even remember when it was. Same concept. It was some.
Was it Venus?
No, it was
Uranus.
Come on. Of course.
I don't remember where I was. I was driving. I remember seeing something like you where it was very slow flashing and then it just evaporated.
Oh, it evaporated. Okay. Wow, that's how long ago?
I can't believe I forgot about this until just now.
That's because when they do the butt stuff, they use the red blinky light, so you don't remember.
Blue linky light. Blue linky light. Not the blue blinky. The blue linky.
It was probably a couple of weeks ago. Maybe?
Come on into the
No, it had
the
to.
microphone.
It had to have been.
You're invited to your own podcast.
I want you to be relaxed. Unfortunately, we can't hear you from that
Sorry.
stage.
That was my thinking stance. Anyway, not that important. We can totally edit this out. It wasn't as exciting. But it was very... I just remembered it.
It's going to be content for the next one when you do UFOs Part 2.
Oh my God.
Get it? Part 2, because they do butt stuff.
Aliens. Oh, we did aliens, but we didn't do UFOs.
Ooh, not their cars, just them.
Although which is kind of both what we covered, but anything else you'd like to share with the class?
No, I don't know what made me even think of that. I apologize for throwing it off.
Okay.
Unidentified
Aircraft.
fucking object.
I was talking about aircraft.
I know, but there was something else that I was like, I remember even thinking, I was like, I need to remember this so I can tell Amanda.
Oxygen systems, aircrafts, 40,000 feet. Something like that.
I wish I had more stuff. I just can't remember jack shit.
Should I leave this in or nah?
You don't have to. I'm just more telling you.
Is it okay? Because I'll take it all out.
That's fine.
All right. But do you want it in? Do you want to touch on this later?
Whatever you're
That's what he
feeling when
said.
you're
I just feel like we should leave it in if you're not going to touch on it later. That you saw your hair.
Just the tip.
We can talk about just the tip.
Have either of you guys seen Sausage Party?
Yes. We're not going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about just the tip.
No, we're
I'm
not.
talking about just
Oh,
the tip.
No, we're not going to talk about a sausage party.
My God.
Is that what you saw when you saw your UFO?
Just the tip?
Yeah. In
That's
your
what
butt.
they saw.
This is the tip.
I
in
truly
your
wish it was more of an exciting
butthole.
story, especially since I interrupted your story about it.
You
So-
can always interrupt my story for anything at any time, always. This is what we do, so please interrupt. If you saw a UFO, I would hope to God you interrupted. This is me directing at Unicorn Dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's not interrupting, but Hayley is. I want
I've
to
not
know.
seen a UFO. I saw a drone the other night. It was pretty funny. It was on the other side of a retaining wall, and Lauren and I are just watching this idiot thing like going up and down, and it sat there like real still for a second, and then Lauren waved at it, and it like slowly, shamefully dropped below the wall. Like, I didn't mean to be looking at you. Like,
My bad. We
Piss
have
off,
we
girl.
have
love
a
that.
window in
I
our
love that.
in our shower, and I saw the drone lights.
What a
once,
great idea.
Looking out through as I was showering. Did I ever tell you this?
nice.
Oh yeah, it hasn't been back since. But we now, instead of like keeping it this wide open fully, we just have about that much space where it can't see us because we're standing on this side of the crack. But yeah, sure enough.
We had the same thing, so I downloaded a picture of Danny DeVito naked, and I just stuck it in the window, and the drone hasn't been back since.
Can I leave Lauren's name in the podcast?
I think so.
I
She's
know
pretty
she.
proud of that.
I know she listens. I don't like to mention like name or gender if I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want because like
I'll take the hit if she's mad. I think she'll be proud.
take the hit, Dad.
I'll take the hit. It wouldn't be the first time. Not in the face.
Oh no.
In the nuts.
Lauren's over there going, dude, I treat you good.
I treat you fine. What's wrong with this?
I
wrong
know. Dad treats you good too for friend.
I love you, honey.
Okay, we love you for friend.
I don't gag. I don't have a Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know.
Where were we?
Simple segue right back to the bends, right?
Right to the bends, so the bends can cause strokes and be fatal. I feel like we covered that. Whatever. Staap was assigned to test many. This is a crowd here. And next time we should just leave it all on record. All right. Staap was assigned to test many oxygen systems in aircraft that were unpressurized and at altitudes of around 40,000 feet. After being in the air for 65 hours, he discovered that inhaling pure oxygen 30 minutes prior to flying does not give you the bends or decompression sickness. His research made it so that no pilot had to worry about the bends again, as this technique is actually still used to this day. Through his discovery, he worked at the medical laboratory.
Laboratory.
The laboratory at the
We're just like ready to pounce on the first weakest word. Eat it.
do it.
Laboratory.
I love
laboratory.
Make you
Listen.
become Russian.
Hayley knows about the alter ego that comes out when I drink. I don't know.
Brunhilde.
I don't know if you do.
I know most of your egos. Been around you a long time.
Do you know this one?
I pretty much do.
What's her name?
Her name is Sonia Dostoevsky.
So close, Brunhilde
I was gonna say
Donjevsky.
Exactly what I
was
said. But I said it,
Donsnyovsky, not
said it in
Donsnyevsky.
She didn't have last name
Her
till
name
now.
Brunhilde with an E at the
Brunhilde.
end.
Brunhilde
Brunhilde.
Donjevsky. Wow. Listen. Okay.
So the bends.
We're moving on.
Moist or non?
Super moist.
Moistest.
Okay. Through this discovery, he worked at the medical laboratory at Wright Field in Dayton, Ohio. Fun fact, the Wright Field is named after the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, who were the first people to make and fly a motorized airplane. Motor-operated airplane. Whatever you want to call it. They were making advances in flight suits, breathing apparatus, and parachutes, just to name a few. Haley's struggling to stay composed.
Nope, I'm staying composed.
There,
I've got this.
meaning John Staap, because we've derailed a bit. He was assigned to the lead on the project, Human Deceleration. He then traveled to Morocco, where he did some of his most famous work and what he's really known for, because he really did some extraordinary work on the effects of human deceleration. He voluntarily put himself through arguably some of the most intense physical extremes, all to see how far humans could push themselves and how many G-forces we could withstand. He sought out to find out about ejection as well, like flight ejection, like if you were going to have to eject from a flight due to it being hit or whatever, what would happen, or how far can we take ourselves. At the time, it was believed that a human could withstand about 18 Gs of force before dying. He wanted to find out why some pilots would walk away from crashes well over 18 Gs and others would die from less. His research not only proved that 18 Gs was inaccurate, but helped set new standards for the entire industry. What's a G-force?
Gravity times 1.
That's right. So, can you say that? Thank you for the soft applause.
Gravity times 1.
So what is that? Like,
So
what is
the
that?
force of gravity that you feel sitting in a chair, your butt in the chair, or your feet on the floor, that's 1 G.
Okay.
So if you run into a wall, that's a lot more force, and G is just a standard of measurement of force. God, someone's going to email you about that. But yeah, basically
But it's
the force of
gravitational force.
Yeah, so if your butt was in the same chair on the moon, you'd feel whatever, way less of a G as if you were on Jupiter, you'd feel way more of a G. So 1 G is 1 gravity force on Earth. If you are in a car accident and you hit the dashboard, that's a lot more force, and they can say, oh, that was 12 Gs or 20 Gs or whatever.
Right. Okay, so the G-force tells you the amount of acceleration caused by gravity of the planet. So this is what causes things to fall and stay on the ground. Actually, it's not just planets that have G-force. Every single physical object has a certain amount of G-force to it. So let's talk about how John tested these G-forces. In Morocco, there was a device built to test Nazi buzz bombs. It was a rocket sled track that was equipped with hydraulic brakes that would allow you to go from 150 miles per hour to 75 miles per hour in 1/5 of a second. An airplane crash would produce the same G-forces as this deceleration. How you would move this quickly is through a sled that ran on a track. The sled, later named G-Whiz, could withstand up to 100 Gs. The sled was pretty big, weighing in at 1,500 pounds. It was 6.5 feet wide, 15 feet long, and there was 1 seat.
Because you couldn't talk anybody else into going on the damn thing with you.
That's right. Only John. That's correct, Mundo.
He talked himself into doing it.
That's right.
I'll go.
He said, I want to do it. Sign me up. The device was one of a kind, and due to the high-power brake system, its ability to hold 4 rockets, which were able to produce 5,000 pounds of thrust apiece, they were able to create a very rare variety of G-forces. So they could, brake at certain rates, accelerate at certain rates, so they were able to kind of just play with all these different G-forces of acceleration and deceleration. These rockets were the same type of rockets that heavy and big aircraft used to get off of short runways. So who was supposed to be sitting in this daunting seat? Well, the test dummy Oscar 8-Ball, of course. But when John Staap arrived on day 1, he patted the head of the dummy and said, we're not going to use this. You can throw this away. I'm going to be the test subject. They did use Oscar in the beginning tests to work out any kinks, which fortunately saved Staap from being thrown 710 feet downrange and flying through an inch thick of wood due to the brakes locking up.
Damn.
In December of 1947, and after the 35th test, Staap was ready to try it with an actual human being. Any takers on who?
Oh, man, I remember guessing this wrong when we recorded this the first time. Because I said Chuck Yeager.
That's right. No, it was
You're
John.
like, I feel like I should be drinking Jägermeister. And then Man's like, wait, what? And you're like,
right.
oh, nope, okay, guess
Nope.
not.
Nope.
So it was himself. It was John Staap.
I said that.
I know.
What's his
he
last
said
name?
Jaeger. John Staap. Stapp.
Stop.
As
As in go from 150 miles an hour to 75.
As in, I'm gonna fucking predict the deceleration that human beings can
That's
withstand.
crazy. How did we
He
miss
lived
that
up to
first
his
time
name.
around?
He
Yeah.
Wow.
He almost
really
died
did.
up to his name.
He really did. He really did. He volunteered for many runs, facing both forwards and backwards, and being strapped in various ways to test the many G-forces that effects have on us, and the safest ways to go about enduring them. While they did use chimps and other volunteers for some of their runs, Staap was the lead in these tests. He started by using only one rocket that reached about 90 miles an hour and 10 Gs in deceleration. Test 2, instead of using like a natural progression of 2 rockets, he was like, nah, fuck that, and going to 3, which produced 200 miles an hour. And Staap was totally unaffected by acceleration or deceleration. Actually, he was excited to do more testing. Yay!
So ballsy.
I know.
Damn.
By August of 1948, Staap had completed a total of 16 runs, all with varying rocket and braking power to play with the G-force effect. He had well surpassed the originally thought 18 Gs a human could survive, and had actually survived 35 Gs. Though these weren't without some physical harm, some runs had broken ribs. He broke his wrist on ones. His teeth fillings would actually come out. Concussions. The straps that he was wearing to keep him in place would dig deeply into him, and he had temporary blindness. But he knew that he could handle more. And then I just wanted to kind of talk about the blindness because it was really interesting to me. So if he was facing backwards, the blood was rushed from his eyes, making everything look white. And on these runs, if he was facing forwards, then the blood was rushed towards his eyes, making everything appear red. The blindness or blurriness would occur at any forces greater than 18 Gs. And then a small side note, but worthwhile, in 1949, in one test while experimenting rapid acceleration, he had an assistant Air Force Captain, Edward A. Murphy Jr., who was the mastermind behind the harness used to strap Staap into the sled. This harness was equipped with multiple sensors, 16 to be exact, that were put into place to measure the G-forces of the human body. The sensors did have to be aligned just ever so to retrieve any data from the tests performed. On one test in 1949, the harness was placed on Staap. The test began. Unfortunately, the first sensor was not aligned properly, having a domino effect on the rest of the sensors, so no data was collected. Murphy coined the term, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and Staap named the phrase Murphy's Law. And that is actually where Murphy's Law was born. Staap's work proved that humans can withstand much higher G-forces than thought, and that we can withstand even higher G-forces while facing backwards, and that the restraints currently used for aircraft were inadequate. In response, the military had the restraints addressed, and the seating was thereby reserved for new aircrafts. The seating was changed for new aircrafts to meet these new standards.
Adjusted?
Yeah, adjusted for new. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have reserved, and that's not the right word.
It's not, but that's okay.
Reversed.
Yeah. I needed the V in a different spot.
That's what. No,
The seating was reversed for new aircraft. Great. He also knew his research was applicable to cars. And since more people had cars, he felt that it might be even more applicable. We'll get into that in a minute. So after all these experiments, he decided to take a closer look at the ejector seats. He wanted to know what would happen if a pilot ejected from a plane going faster than the speed of sound. This motherfucker was crazy.
No one can hear you scream. That's what.
He said, I'm gonna find out. A whole new track and a whole new sled were made for this test called the Sonic Wind, capable of 12 rockets. His most famous test took place on December 10th, 1954. While a lot of the research leading up to this point was to find out how many G-forces a human can take, Staap was also experimenting with the humans being able to survive a high-speed ejection from an aircraft. His 29th and final test was conducted. Using 9 missiles, he hit 632 miles in just 7 seconds and came to a complete stop in 1.4 seconds. What the?
Hayley's a monster.
What the fuck are you laughing at?
I was doing this, and Jim was like,
Just a tip. You put ding ding down. Yankee. Using 9 missiles and no flick of the tip.
look at a flick of the tip.
He hit 632 miles an hour in just 7 seconds.
Oh, God. It doesn't sound like any fun at all.
It's just as jarring the second time around
It
as
is.
it was
Yeah.
to hear the first time.
100%. Totally.
It's never going to be okay to hear that
No.
information.
Well, how about after coming to 632 in 7 seconds, a complete stop in 1.4 seconds?
So your organ just right towards the front of your body.
Payments. Earning him the title, the fastest man on Earth, and also, quote, the bravest man on Earth in the Air Force by the media. He endured 46.2 G's of force. It was the equivalent of hitting a brick wall at 120 miles per hour.
God.
But he endured it for 9 times longer. He went faster for 5 seconds than a .45 caliber bullet travels as it leaves a handgun, and went 83% the speed of sound. Sound travels at 760 miles per hour. His weight during this run was a maximum of 1,700 pounds. His injuries included temporary blindness for about 2 hours, and nearly every capillary of his eyes burst, amongst few others that I had previously mentioned from his previous run, as far as just like broken ribs, like hurt wrists, all those kinds of things, like the straps digging into him. Astonishingly, though, he made a complete recovery, even noted as smiling at the end. Something I found fascinating is that at the speed this high, the dust in the desert air was bruising him. Dust. So when you're going at 632 miles an hour, anything in the air is going to be like a tiny bullet. So he had bruises all over his body from the dust in the desert air.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He became more or less a celeb at that point, even making the cover of Time magazine in 1955. He was featured on TV, there was a movie made about him, and he actually used all of this attention and fame to promote automobile safety. Any opportunity he had, any interview that asked him to come on, he always asked everyone to review his data on crashes. He urged car manufacturers to install softer dashboards or shock-absorbing bumpers. He also lobbied to have the seatbelt installed. In America, seatbelts weren't even actually a thing yet. He told Time magazine, "I'm leading the crusade for the prevention of needless deaths." He convinced the Air Force to build an automobile crash test site, the first of its kind, and he was there when President Johnson signed the law requiring seatbelts in every new car in 1966. Staap ultimately proved what he had set out to prove, that we as humans can survive much more than thought. He proved that we can in fact survive an ejection at high altitude if we were protected. His data allowed for an entire new generation of aircraft that was redefined, the height and speed thought to be the max. These aircrafts were also safer than ever, and technically a new generation of cars as well, with better safety features, and is the reason for so much safety regulation in our lives now. He was 89 years old when he died at 1 G in his sleep.
Perfect.
And that is John Staap.
How do you spell stop?
S-T-A-P-P.
Stop.
Stop in the name of love, I'm feeling. In the name of speed?
Stop in the name of deceleration.
This guy had to be so dedicated to what he had to so
He was
believe
passionate.
in his holy
100%.
I mean, that had to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, forget surviving. Can we just talk about absolute pain?
Yeah.
Well, in some of the tests that he showed up as, he was like noted saying, "I'm not really looking forward to this," but he was so dedicated to like what he knew that humans could withstand, and that he was just like, "I'm committed to this, so I'm committed to testing myself, and I'm not going to put chimps through this or like any other human beings through this," even though there were, I mean, look, you're working with a multitude of people, so there were chimps that were tested, there were other humans that were tested, but he was adamant about him being the test subject for so many of these tests.
Crazy.
And him living through it. And that most infamous test where he was like at 46.2 G's or something like that. Like they thought for sure he was going to die. And then he just like stopped on the runway and there's like
smiling.
There's
Grinning.
kind of like
maybe
this,
his face was just like stuck that
Maybe.
way.
Maybe.
there's this like infamous picture of him and it's like, I mean, it's kind of noted saying he was smiling because he lived through it. So he's smiling, but he's also like, that hurt.
Ow.
Yeah, just smiling through the pain.
Uh-huh. But it's yeah, he was very
And later on, when he sired Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
oh my god.
The original Jackass.
He's
for
gonna
sure.
if John Staap was alive, he would be in Jackass 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
For sure.
The fourth one's finally
That's
coming out.
Oh,
Can
thought
you
it was,
imagine?
I thought that was the third one. My
Like
bad.
you're going down
Jackass
the
4.
going down the freeway, you roll down the window, and it feels like boom, like this, explosion coming into the car. And you, like, stick your hand out. That's at like 70 miles an hour.
I know.
Can you imagine
600
ejecting at 600 miles an hour from like no wind to a rocket up your butt to that and that atmosphere hitting you at 600
Wouldn't that just be like your arm breaking off? Or is
Pretty
that
much.
just me?
It would have had to. It would have to be.
Wow.
I
don't
can't even imagine.
That's crazy.
He's the rubber man.
Rubber man.
Jeez.
The rubber man.
Hats off to the Staapmeister.
Yeah, don't stop believing.
Don't stop. Oh, wait, do we need to have copyrights for that?
For like a half a
We
second.
love you, Steve Perry. We love you too, Neil Sean. Please don't sue us.
Is that the writer?
Those are like Journey people.
Oh, no.
And Ross Valerie and, Steve Smith and whoever else.
We love you. Steve Perry, I love you deeply.
Truly.
All my life I have. Anyways, yes, that was John Staap. Thank you, Steve Perry, for being a part of our fun. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Unicorn Dad, for joining us.
Thank you so much for doing this again.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, 2 times over.
Let's
You're
go
the
for
real
3.
MVP.
Let's go for 3.
Let's go for 3. No.
I'm back anytime.
If we have to record this a third time, we're doing
not
new
going to have to
content.
record this a third time.
We're not.
No.
We're going to have to record something new
I can tell by
at
the
a first time.
blue lines of audacity.
Unless
we
we're
don't
lucky enough that
have to
Journey
record this.
sues Weirdify. Like, wouldn't you be kind of honored, though, too?
No.
Like, oh, cool, we lost everything, but dude, we, like, totally met Steve
That
Perry.
would be
And he was
Steve.
so pissed, and he yelled at us.
Listen, Steve, I have nothing. Don't sue me.
Same.
Okay. That was a good talk, Perry. Thanks for joining us. Weird
Yeah.
people. We will.
Steve Perry, if you have a weird story to write in,
Oh, my God.
That would be
can you
great.
imagine?
I'm sure
Perry,
you do.
Listen up. Yeah.
maybe on the night when the lights went down in the city.
And the sun shined on the bay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I want to be there.
I was just there this weekend.
In the city
In
by
my
the
city.
bay.
In the city by the bay.
Wow. Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. So Steve Perry, or anyone else, that's such a specific person. If you have any
If your name is Steve Perry and you're not Steve Perry, we want to hear from you.
I'm Steve freaking Perry. I'm over here doing plumbing and,
and if your name is Steve Perry and you're not Steve Perry, how are you Steve Perry?
Ooh.
Yeah, how did you come to be Steve Perry?
Before was, is.
Oh.
And also, if you're not Steve Perry, you have something you'd like to add to the class, please do so.
Do it.
By emailing to weirdifypodcast@gmail.com or hitting up our Make Contact tab.
Hit it up. Not, yeah.
Hit it up.
Hit it up.
Or Hayley says not hit it up. Don't hit it up, Hayley says.
No, you can hit it up.
Hit it up.
Hit it up.
Make contact. Weirdifypodcast.com.
Make contact?
Yeah, let us know if you have any topic suggestions or email us like Adriana and let us know what you want us to cover or if you would like us to read an episode on What's So Weird. We would love to record another episode. We have a few, we just need a few more.
Or if you want to hear more about how Unicorn Dad lives his life sans uvula,
Sounds uvula.
please write in and
Just ask. We
Yeah.
will give you what
Totes.
you want.
Yep.
Totes.
Yep.
For sure.
You can also follow what's happening with us and the podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at Weirdify Podcast.
That's right. And I feel like that's about it.
And all the information will be linked in the description
Below.
of this episode.
That's
Woot
right.
woot.
Woot, woot.
Who? What?
Woot woot.
Woot woot.
That's like one woot, but then there's another one.
Woot woot.
It's like two
Woot
woots.
squared.
Yeah,
Woot
woot
squared.
squared.
The other one.
It's a square woot.
And thank you.
Oh my
Wow.
god! Square woot.
Square woot.
Square woot. I am square woot.
Math humor, I cannot get enough.
And thank you for joining us again for Weird Science, even though you don't know that you're joining us
Again.
We are joining us again. We appreciate your joining.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us again.
Aw.
I know we said it again.
Heck
but
yeah.
we're gonna
That brain
say it
damage
again.
makes it easy, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Makes everything groovy.
Yep, he's like, I could zone out and just chill.
He's like, what'd you guys talk about? We can do this a third time.
Zone out from what? When are we starting?
He's like, I have a dent in my head. It doesn't, it's all Greek to me.
He said, when are we starting?
Wow. When are we starting?
Okay. And with that, we should finish.
We should.
Until next time, guys, keep
It
Weird.